Thanks for the support as a channel member, Dara. Well, I think it's fair to say the response to this series so far has been nothing short of sensational. I don't use that word lightly. As I record this video, 21 hours after part 1 came out, the series as a whole has already had over 50,000 views and over 13,000 likes. If I can do maths, which we all know, I'm having to add episode 1 and 2 together there. Looking at it, it's actually 11,000 likes. That's still a lot of likes. If we can smash through 3,000 likes again on today's episode, that would be fantastic. Really appreciate the support that you've been giving to this series early on. It does make a massive difference with the success of the series. And talking of the series, of course, back in episode 1, it was a day ago, Kev, we did a giveaway for retweeting the launch tweet, and we now have a winner. And the winner is Dodo Lukic, who by the time this video is out, probably already has their code. Congratulations to them. There will be more giveaways, probably a little bit closer to Christmas now, and possibly on some of the other versions of the game if I can figure out a way to get codes for those. So watch this space. More giveaways coming, but I've given away 10 copies of FM21 now. So I think it's time to give my wallet a little bit of a rest. But thank you again for the incredible support so far. Hello and welcome to part 3 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, believe it or not, we already have the FA Cup first round this season. This is the first time I've played through pandemic land in what a game that would be. First time I've played through lower leagues, non-league stuff with the pandemic, and goodness me, does the FA Cup get into the thick of it quick. So we've got an FA Cup first round tie away against Plymouth, which I guess we're going to lose. Plymouth are 4th in League One. You're going to watch us get an absolute pasting in that one. Plus, then we're back in the Conference North for a home game against Southport. Since you were last with me, we're quite good. We're quite good at football. The new signings are bedding in nicely. It helps that they're very good. We've won a fair few games, including this game after. Well, we've needed extra time in both of the qualifying rounds for the FA Cup. I'm hoping. How many fans do Plymouth get? This might be an opportunity to earn a little bit of money, which would be handy. They got 10,000 people for their last home game. This is going to be difference-making money on the FA Cup money split, which always helpful. It does mean in the league we're up in 3rd place at the moment after 5 games. Don't read too much into it just yet. Just know that it is nice that we're starting well and hopefully not going to be down in a relegation-threatened position. In fact, I hadn't looked at the season preview screen since before we did the signings. We were originally predicted 18th. The game clearly thinks I did a good transfer window because we're now up to 5th favourites. Still don't have anybody in the media dream 11, but the fact we've gone from 18th to 5th on the prediction, that's got to be a good sign, hasn't it? There have been a few extra little bits of transfer business. Nobody else has come in since the last episode. In fact, nobody else has gone out. That's just not true. Somebody is definitely right. Okay, Peter Durin, who we signed in the summer as our backup goalkeeper, got in a mood that he wasn't playing. I then got him to agree to be the backup because we originally signed him as a squad player, I think. Agreed to get him to back up. He agreed. He was happy. And then the next day he said he wanted a new challenge and asked for a transfer. So a transfer he has got. He's going on a free transfer to Hajduk Split. That'll be in January when he departs, because obviously they're in a land of transfer windows. But that's not all. There was definitely another transfer as well. There he is, Ben Stevens. I think we've probably released the 2 best players at the club now. Johnny Hunt went because of his injury, which he's still injured, so it's a good job we released him. Ben Stevens got a real grumpy on that he wasn't playing in those first few games. It was probably 3 or 4 league games in. He'd maybe been on the bench once. We hadn't really decided how we were going to use him yet. Obviously, I brought Denilson Carvalho in to play in that role. But I still very much had him in my plans. But he came to me. He had a moody. He wouldn't calm down. He came to me furious already, Mr. Too Big for His Boots. And I just said, if you're going to talk to me like that, you can leave. He's on a non-contract on an appearance fee. So we just binned him off. And now he's going to go and play for Cork City in the Irish First Division by the looks of it. So more of the originals on their way out. We don't have. I think there's 1 player in that team now who was here when we arrived. It's episode 3. Adam Collin is the only one left. And if things had gone differently, maybe Durin would have forced him out of the team over the course of the season. But this is the team for the Plymouth game. We've got Collin in goal, a back four of Edwards, Dunn, Senior and Malden, Wooten and Boot in midfield, and then Patterson, Carvalho and Brandy supporting Spasov up front, who so far hasn't been the game-changing, tearing the league up striker that you all promised he would be in the comments in the comments section yesterday, to the point where I probably owe Sheriff a route back into the team, because Sheriff, although he's only got one league goal, he did get 4 goals from those first 2 FA Cup games. And also Sam Jones has got 3 goals from 3 when he's played largely as an attacking midfielder, but I think he played 1 game as a striker as well. So Spasov's got to start scoring quick, as he is going to lose his place, because we've got 2 proven goal scorers who are ready to step in and take his role in the team. He's in there still at the moment on reputation, and to give him the opportunity to play himself into some form, but we're not going to keep that going forever. Right, we need, what can we do that is cautious? I don't often do, let's do hands together, we're the underdogs. Got to do, what, like that? Does that mean cautious? That's praying, isn't it? I mean, that might actually be more useful to us away from home against a team trying to get into the championship. Maybe we should try that one. Although we're ahead on XG. Blow the final whistle now, boys and girls. We're ahead on XG. That was a worrying free kick, and also worrying with my red-green colour blindness. It was always going to be a problem managing a team who wear red kits. Plymouth are a green kit, presumably. To me, there are 20 players on a bit. There are 20 heads moving around on the screen, because neither of these kits really pop against the pitch. Luckily, the pitch is still pretty luminous, so it is a different shade, but the kits of the 2 teams, absolutely identical. I cannot tell those kits apart with my red-green colour blindness. So it's going to be fun to commentate on. He's not one of ours. I don't know that name. Oh, this is going to be a nightmare. We might have to go 2D for this match, but that's probably not going to be any easier for me to pick the players out. And it's going to be a long match because of all the goals Plymouth are going to score as well. We'll watch this highlight, and then I'm going to have a look to see what it's like from the 2D view, see if the colours are a little easier to differentiate, or at least you can look based on which way their boots are pointing, so you know which way they're facing. I guess we know which way they're facing from this screen as well. I think I'm just going to struggle. Luckily, we're not going to play against teams in green very often. It does mean that I should probably never manage a team who wears green. If I was Plymouth manager, obviously you come up against lots of teams who play in red. That wouldn't work for me at all. I'd have no idea what was going on. Similar, I imagine, looking at this, I think we've got the majority of our defenders are probably red-green colourblind as well, because they don't seem to have much of an idea what's going on. Although this one has been disallowed for a very, very marginal offside. Obviously, I don't know which one of the 2 players it was who was in the offside position. I'm going to assume the game was right and it was them. Right, we've got an attack going here. Malden to Wooten, Patterson trying to do something fancy on the left here, and I mean he does beat his right back and get a shot away. It probably would have been preferable for him to play the ball across the face of goal where Spasov was waiting. But it was nice to see him just trying something a little bit positive, a little bit creative. We've obviously got a lot of young players in this team who have come down from higher levels, looking to kind of reboot their careers at a forward-thinking National League North side, who probably quite fancy their chances of getting back up to this kind of level. So I'm pleased with how things are going. Keep it up. We can't pump our fists and say that. What can I do and say that? Hands on hips facing team. It doesn't tell me what it does. It inspires and motivates. That's what it does. My substitute goalkeeper's nervous. You're not even on the pitch, son. You don't need to worry about it. If you don't like the team talk, don't worry. The chances of you getting on this pitch, very, very small. You enjoy your flight to Croatia? Is that where Split are? I think he is Croatian, which does make sense why he would be going to a Croatian team. Otherwise, I am a little confused. Colin's done quite well there. I think it is offside again, but nice to see him make a save. Nice little treat. Well, you know what? At only 1-0 down, we're holding our own against the League One team here. This is very positive stuff. What I would like to see, and I don't know where it exists in FM21, is how do we know what the attendance is for this game? Because I'd quite like to get an idea of if there's 10,000 people here. But I don't know where you see that anymore. Yeah. No idea. Is there any drop downs up here? Oh. Okay, so we can leave that on the screen while we're playing. I don't know if I want to do that, but it's nice to know that I can. Makes a little bit more sense that it's where it is now, because we've been talking on stream quite a lot about how it frustrates and upsets me that the top of the match stats doesn't line up with the top of the dugout and the top of the touchline tablet, especially when you move it across the screen like that and it doesn't line up. But now I see that it does pop out of that one and can be there all the time. Now it makes a little bit more sense. Right, for my final trick, we are going to take off... No, because we don't have anyone to bring on for him. Looks like we're going to take off Patterson, bring on Clark. I have now got, for the wingers and the strikers, the automatic player instruction change, because I was fed up doing it and I couldn't remember who did what. So I've now just got them all set to be the role that suits them best. It does mean I am playing with a target man for Jones. So that's an experiment that's probably not going to last very long, because you know how I feel about target men. But for everyone else, it seems to work out all right. I am pretty happy with how we've played today. We've only lost 1-0 against a team who are pushing for the championship. We did well on the XG. That is positive stuff. What we still don't know is how many people were there to watch it. I mean, this is 6,500 people. What different? Oh, look at all the money. Look at all the money we've just made. So this month, where is it? I want to see it. Come on. Gate receipts. There it is. Wow. That's difference making. I'm still over the wage budget, so it's not making that much of a difference. Cup run is now over. So that's probably our last chance of the year to make some money. But you know what? Getting to the FA Cup first round, first season, that's got to please the board, hasn't it? They wanted us to get to the fourth qualifying round. We got to the first round. Boom. Overachieving already. Happy days. Let's go play a league game. Right, a little bit of shuffling around for the Southport game then. Not because we necessarily needed to, more because I'm still trying to work out what my best team is. Certainly from the midfield back. I think as a front four, for now I'm comfortable going with this. Spasov might be coming back out of the team for Sheriff. We'll wait and see. But I don't know. I've got three good midfielders, Perry, Boot and Wooten. So we're just rotating through them. And at the back, we're trying Asare at centre-back alongside Senior. And we've got Sullivan and Malden as our fullbacks this time. Other than that, certainly attacking-wise, it's the same team you've just seen. But hopefully they'll be a little bit more effective attacking against a team at our level. That's the plan. You might have seen there as well, I've got a 42-year-old centre-back on trial at the moment. We don't need him. The only reason he's here on trial is because I just got a pang of panic when I realised there's a very real chance this might be the first Football Manager ever where I don't sign a single player older than me. And I don't like that, so we just went and found an old man. He's not any good, that's the problem. I can't really break the realism rules of non-league to legend just to bring somebody in to make my ego settle down that I'm not the oldest man in the universe. But at the same time, I need to find somebody who's 39 or older who we can bring in this first season, because it doesn't count. If I sign a 40-year-old in 4 years' time when I'm 42 in-game, it doesn't count. It has to be this season. Has to be older than me in-game. Spasov's just got his first goal for the club. About time too. It's a nice finish as well. If we have a look at it from the other angle, while I'm just sat here trying to recover from my midlife crisis, Perry played it back to Senior, who's actually come quite far forward to join in the attack, and plays the ball over the top beautifully for Spasov, and it's a very tidy finish from him. A couple of people in the comments section were saying Senior is a regular starter or a regular squad member for Bolton in League 2 in real life this season. So I think we have got a bit of a player there in the shape of Senior. Not like that. Probably. I mean, I don't know. Bolton fans, is Senior a bit of a player? Who knows? But he certainly had a good pass on him there. And Spasov's in again here. Shoots from range and he scored again. He heard the threat. He knows his spot in the team is under a little bit of pressure. And now he's settled in and has decided to start scoring goals. And they're two very good goals that he scored as well. This time it's the ball over the top from, who was that? Patterson with the ball over the top, who's dropped very deep to play it. And then Spasov picks it up on the edge of the area. And it's just a very, very good finish. Lovely goal. 2-0 now to Kettering. What does that do to the league table? Puts us up to third place. We are looking like a good side at the moment. Obviously, we do have... Trying not to think too far ahead if we were to get promoted. It would be lovely if we did. But I then look at the team, the infrastructure, the fact we're semi-pro, the fact there's only a 3,000 capacity on the ground, the fact we've got no money. And it brings in a whole other layer of panic as well. It's not enough just to get promoted. We've got to get promoted and try and try and think in terms of the future as well. It might be one of those situations where it would be too soon this year because these young lads probably aren't ready to make. Although, to be fair, they played well against Plymouth, so maybe they are. The ball's headed clear here, and it's 2 against 2. Carvalho and Spasov against the 2 Southport defenders. You'd back our boys here. There's 3 Southport players who've come back to join in while Carvalho's doing stepovers. And for some reason, I can't say his name. How many different variations of Carvalho have you had just in this episode? I think we've had Carvillo. That was Carvalho. I just can't say it. It's too complicated for my ignorant mouth. And there's a good free kick effort from O'Sullivan. Spasov's there lurking again, looking for his hat-trick. A first-half hat-trick would be a good way to answer the critics. O'Sullivan with an FM21 style looping long throw. They only work with the right players these days, and he's clearly not one of them. And then it falls to Brandy, who has a shot from the edge of the area that never really looked like it was going to be troubling the goalkeeper. But you know what? I'm all right when we're 2-0 up with them trying stuff like that, because that's how you learn. And now he knows not to do it again. Right, you played well. There's room for improvement. I love my assistant manager. He wants to push this lot hard, and I like it. Pump the fists. Tell them to try harder. How good is Southport? Can we get the league table on? No, we have to. We'll get there. Southport should have paused. We'll have a look in a minute to see where Southport are. I didn't see them on that first glance in the top half of the table. So if they're one of those teams you have to scroll for, I don't think we have anything to worry about. Was that Senior with a fantastic block? That was like AI blocking off of FIFA. Right. Southport are a relegation threatened team. So I've said it a few times over these first few episodes. I'll say it again here. Take this performance with a pinch of salt. We are only 2-0 up against a team that haven't even managed to hit the Kev ratio so far this season, which, if you knew, means they're not doing a point a game on average yet. And that's relegation form. Right, Brandy's going to come off for Sheriff, and we are also we're going to change both the fullbacks as we just continue to figure out what our defence is going to look like when it's finished. Sheriff is fine out on that right-hand side. He plays out there as an inside forward, and he is pretty effective at it. Edwards now with an attempt at a free kick, and there is some bend on that, and their keeper had to cover a lot of ground to get the save. And look how eager Phoenix is to take this corner. Oh, Patterson. His first name's Phoenix, isn't it? We might have to change him to just Phoenix. Because in my head, that's all he'll ever be. But Patterson was desperate to get there and take that corner. I like that. At 2-0, he's clearly trying to push on and improve the scoreline, which has got to be a good thing. How are we doing for morale, actually? Everyone seems reasonably happy. Everyone is happy. I mean, they should be at 2-0. It's been a good performance. Edwards now with another attempt at a long throw. This one's a little bit better. The only problem is we need to have a little chat with him on the training ground on Monday morning. If you are going to throw the ball a long way, at least aim for a red shirt. He was nowhere near one there. Patterson now into Carvalho. They're both looking like very effective members of this front line, and Spasov's hit the crossbar. That would have been a beautiful way to end a fantastic hat-trick off, because he's had some very good efforts in this game, scored 2 very good goals, and it's a shame that third one didn't go in. A man of the match performance from Spasov, a pat on the head for everybody else, and a move up the table for us, which is, I mean, that's a good thing, definitely. Let's have a look at the league table to finish things off. We're in 4th place. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Kane Felix, we had him years ago at Boston, I think. Boston. He was a star for us at Boston. I think we've had him since in another series. I never realised he played for my former local team, Deeping Rangers. I used to be able to see their floodlights from my bathroom window in my old house. But there you go, Kane Felix, top scorer. I mean, does that mean... Oh, he is a striker now, is he? Because he always used to be a winger. I was going to say, does that mean strikers don't score again in FM21 and it's all about wingers again? But no, Kane Felix has become a striker, and look how happy he is about it. He is having a fantastic day. Right, we are going to push forward probably 4 or 5 games. We're trying to keep the episodes quite close together in these early days while we figure out how this team plays, while we figure out who our team is. But if we are going to continue in the form that we're in, we'll start to stretch it out to 6 or 7 matches between the videos as the season goes on. But for now, I think probably coming back for maybe Farsley or Hereford with that Bradford Park Avenue FA Trophy game, or the Fat Cup as we like to call it on stream. I think that's probably a good spot to come back and just check in, see how we're getting on, and see how many more players have just walked out of the club by the time we get to that game. We've got players leaving all over the place. Now wage budget's just not dropping. I really hope that the wage budgets work the same way they have in FM20 this year, but we've now released 2 players who were on pay-as-you-play deals, and it doesn't seem to have brought the current spending down. So if they've changed that again, I'm upset. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.